This is the Dr. Paul Show, a woman's personal guide to understanding men. And now, here's Dr. Paul.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul. Welcome to the Dr. Paul Show. Sex for the dumb. What? This is going to be sex for the dumb? Look, smart people do dumb things, and that's what we're going to talk about. And I just am amazed that things kind of come in groups. I had a number of emails, or we had a number of emails this week, and guess what? Many of them were talking about dumb things that people they knew happened to do things with them that just didn't click. Now, when you think of sex for the dumb, you think about the governor of South Carolina who told everybody he was in Appalachia and he went down to some South American country and had a girlfriend. You know that story. And you know what? When we talk about sex for the dumb, we're talking about people like him. And more importantly, the people who reelected him. Hello. It doesn't click, but who knows? Then we have the governor of New York, who also had paid $5,000 a session for an escort. And upon looking at the female, we're saying, was that worth it? Sex for the dumb. But that's not all. There's more, as they say on the commercials. I had an email this week, and I'm not going to read it on the air, but I'll give you the gist of it. A woman discovered that this man she began dating had spent $3,000 to $5,000 because he told her on going to seminars that were involved in telling men how to pick up women. Now, that's all well and good, I'm sure. However, dumb things happen. And here's what happened. I know you wanted to hear this, right? I couldn't believe it. The man explained to her up front that he went to this. Now, ladies, put yourself in this position. You start dating this guy, or you start seeing him, and he said, I need to tell you something. I went, apparently you're proud of it, I went to one of these seminars for PUAs, pick-up artists. Now, the woman probably did not see herself as a pickup, but apparently from what she said, and it was a really long email, so that's why I'm not going into it. I'm doing this topically with you. And I thought, wow, sex for the dumb, this has got to be it. And he said, I spent this kind of money, and this is a seminar that I've taken, and I didn't know what to say to women now. Only what she said was she started to become fascinated, in a cynical way, with this man's explanation. And he said to her that he had to go back and take some more seminars because he runs out of things to say. I know, I'm laughing, but it's funny. He's run out of dialogue or script or whatever, and he has to go back. Now, this guy spent apparently between $3,000 and $5,000. Mike, I know you want to comment on this. You're just what?
You have to. He had to take a remedial pickup artist class.
Remedial. It sounds like it. Hello, go back to basics, right?
I'm wondering though, when you finish this class, do they give you a diploma?
I certainly hope not. Well, maybe in his case it would be good. You put it on your wall and say, "Look what the diploma says.
Oh my God.
I'm a certified pickup artist."
And you failed the class. Oh my God.
And he has to go back for remedial. So the bottom line is that she actually heard all of this. You would think that maybe the intelligent thing to do, the smart thing, not the dumb thing, would be maybe not mention that. My administrative assistant over here is laughing. I didn't tell anybody this. I kind of topically told my producer, Mike, before the show, and my administrative assistant, I said, wait till you hear this one. Oh, tell us. I said, no, wait till we're on the air. Her take on this thing was, I want to find out every man who ever goes to one of these courses, and I never want to see them. Guys, if you're going to one of these courses, and I can tell you that I have received many, many emails promoting this, and I've looked at some of the literature they have. I've listened to what they have going. They do a good job. I will say that for them. They do a really good job. They obviously know behavioral psychology. They know NLP. That's a response system. And it's almost like it's kind of like the kind of a mini type of hypnosis. They know this. They teach this, and it's interesting. Mike, I think, knows what they call that. I think they had the term in Star Wars, didn't they, Mike?
Yes, that's a Jedi mind trick.
Jedi mind trick, and they really work, and that's what they do. So the Jedi mind trick is what they put into effect with the women, and it's a short-term thing. They never were designed to work on a long-term basis. I mean, when you get to a point, can you imagine this? They're having a date, and he's sitting there at the having a dinner, and he has his notes here, and he looks at them. Oh, who, what, why, where, when, and how. Open-end questions. Oh, what are you? No, that's not exactly what they had in mind. You can go on. Saturday Night Live could have a ball with this thing. I mean, it's just if you're watching, go ahead and use it, SNL. I know it's remarkable, but this really happened. The woman said she had no idea and was just floored when the guy told her about the fact that he had gone to the seminars, paid the money, and this is only $3,000 to $5,000 for these packages. Apparently, he bought the package, and he has to go back for more. I think it's wonderful. I wish I had thought of that idea. I could have done that, right?
Did they give you a workbook too?
Yeah, I think it comes with big letters, and you get crayons. And anyway, that's the way it works. So, ladies, if you know someone who is involved with this type of PUA program, let your other friends know, and maybe all of you could sit down and talk to him about it, and he might really reveal things that you could all use. It boggles the mind. And I said sex for the dumb. Now, here's another one. This came to me via email. I do not know the validity, but apparently a woman had a rechargeable vibrator. All right? Now, what she did with the vibrator was to use it, which is perfectly fine. However, somewhere in the directions it said, unplug the vibrator before using. And I guess she didn't see that part. 3rd-degree burns. I mean, what are you thinking? That's like 1,000 ways to die. I mean, what are you doing? Putting the vibrator while it's attached to an electric cord into the wall? Sex for the dumb. That's where it is, and it doesn't stop. And the beauty about this is you can't make this stuff up. In my book, I have a whole section. People said, "Did you make this up?" I said, "No. You could not make this up. It's too good. It's so true that you couldn't think of it." These are things that boggle the illogical mind, not to mention the creative mind. But these are things that people do, the dumb things people do in sex, and what they purport to do when they are intelligent people, in large part not stupid people, and they do some really off-the-wall things that actually hurt them financially. There's one, and this was one in the Tampa Bay area. Be careful what you do. And I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but there's it's in Bloomberg News, a company out there which you've probably heard about, and it's about people who are people who are married who want to have affairs. And this is called cheating, of course. But the name of this particular group is something, Ashley Madison, I believe it is Ashley Madison. And it's a huge success. People, he says, all right, if you really want your marriage to be a success, you've got to cheat. Hello? Did I miss something? Attorneys make huge amounts of money by dealing with people like this. Okay? This is what they do. And this is how it works. Okay, to make it more specific. In the Tampa Bay area, this man went to a well-known hotel after work where they have cocktail hour, and he hit on this female, and he has 2 children and a wife, and so he had an affair with that female that night. Seems like Monday morning, she went back to work, and her coworker had, his picture on her desk with 2 kids and the coworker. Wow, guess what? She told him. She said, "That's your husband?" Uh-huh. Well, guess what? He was my husband Friday night. How do you like that, right? Sex for the dumb. Needless to say, he is now living in a small apartment as opposed to on the water in the Tampa Bay area. So it goes. I mean, again, why do you do things that are going to pull your own plug? It's like you're on life support and boop, out goes the plug. It's all done. I know. I get amazed at these things. We're going to go to the letters after a while. The Ashley Madison thing is beyond my comprehension. And by the way, we also happen to discover that 30% of all people on single sites are not single. Hello. They are not single. Oh, and by the way, on Ashley Madison, guess what? There are more men than women. Wow, who would have guessed? C'est la vie, right? There's no more that I can comment on. It pretty much says what it says. It is what it is, and it speaks for itself. I'm not going to belabor sex for the dumb anymore, but if you have some you'd like to share with us, I'm more than happy to hear you and see what you have to say. While I'm on the subject of sex for the dumb, Jerry Springer had come up with a very good show. I haven't seen it lately, but it was on recently, called Baggage. You really want to see something that reflects what I'm talking about, that's the place to go. People bring in baggage, and the baggage has a screen on it, and it tells, quote-unquote, the quote-unquote dumb things that they've done. Now, after they get through this baggage, then the person, be it male or female, decides if they want to continue and see that person. But that person then gets to see the other's baggage. It's complicated, but it's just further illustration of what people do and what expectations they have. And not realistic, because they think it's okay with other people if they do the things they do, and then guess what? They have the sad belief that they can talk about it and people aren't going to look at them and say what? And that's how it is. So if you happen to go to one of these PUA seminars and you buy the package, guys, listen to Dr. Paul very carefully, all right? Don't talk about it. Okay? I hear nothing, I see nothing, I say nothing. Say nothing. Don't go and tell a woman, oh, I went to a pickup artist seminar and I know how to pick you up. Duh. What is there about that you don't get? Again, you can't make these things up. And it's my pleasure to hear from you, and I really enjoy reading these. That was a long one. I explained in detail pretty much what she had to say. I refuse to repeat the expletives because they're not appropriate for this show. All right, this is Dr. Paul. We're going to a break. We'll be right back.
Have a question for Dr. Tough Love? Call him live in the Tampa Bay area, 727-441-3000. Or you can call him toll-free at 886-826-1340. You can also send him an email at doc@askdrpaul.com. The Dr. Paul Show will be right back after these messages.